welcome everybody for another show of Court Kingz, joined by Blow It Up and the casual basketball fan. I'm the fan from the swamp. We're here to review the trades that happened today in the trade deadline and how it breaks down, where everything pretty much went like a 5 goes west, and everything went to the west. Uh, Guys, what are your reactions overall, without going too deep into things like about today's deadline?
You can't sleep as a fan. Like there's no way you can actually rest during trade deadline because you miss massive
Yeah,
things
no.
when you sleep.
Yeah, I went to sleep at like midnight last night and I woke up to KD being a Phoenix Suns. So like the whole day we were trying to post news and everything and it just was like it wasn't happening because it was just too much going on. I think between the three of us we were just dropping links like all day long and just like, you know what? I'm not posting all this.
That's what it got to. Where I was just like, you know what?
Yeah, no, it's the same thing. After like all three of us were just bing, 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 bing. I wanted to start pulling the pictures on Google, and I was like, you know what? We'll
But
just do
Joe,
a podcast.
you know how I tell you, like, I miss stuff because the soccer news for me and Twitter is like covers everything.
Yeah,
It was doing that for a point, and after a certain point, it was just all basketball. You'll see a soccer news in here and there, but it was just all basketball. I was like, I can't miss this. I was like, I have no
no,
excuse.
yo, like it was crazy. And I was like, you know, we're not posting all this. We'll just do a podcast.
Yeah, it was too much. It was like, okay, you got what? You got what? Oh, wait, that's it's not a two. Now it's a three team. Oh wait, it's a four team.
Mhm.
I'm like, oh wait, you're going here, but then you're gonna go over there. I'm like, damn,
It
bro.
was
Like
it was too much.
players were getting rerouted, and let me add that player over there, and let me throw this over here, and oh wait, I just got these picks, so let me send them over here. I'm like, what the? Like, damn.
It was way too much.
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk about the first domino that fell, though. The first domino that fell yesterday was or well, a few days ago.
I was about to say it just wasn't just yesterday.
Yeah, the first domino that fell a few days ago, which was Kyrie requested to be traded, and then the Nets were like, "Okay, fine, be gone," and they shipped him with Markieff Morris over to Dallas for Spencer Dinwiddie and Finney Smith, along with a couple of draft picks right there, or a few draft picks, as you see, 2027 second round pick, 2029 first round pick, which is unprotected, the 2029 second round pick as well.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about this at length in the group chat and everything, and we talked about it a little before we got on here. At this point, like I mean, Kyrie's gonna. I don't know what he's gonna do on the Mavericks. I mean, him and Luca, I guess, are a thing. But I mean, as far as my only issue was like really like what we got back. Like the picks to me, it's like it's a non-factor. But like Jay said, and Jay's gonna get his turn and everything too. But like the picks are just 2027, 2029 are just so random to me and just so far ahead in time, like 4 and 6 years away. So I'm just like, but I mean, I guess you could just all package that stuff together and make that like whatever deal and go get somebody later on. But it was just the start of the Nets balling it up at this point. So I mean, the picture just to me were just it's just trade material, whatever. It's just draft capital. But bringing Dinwiddie back was interesting. I know they were trying to flip Dinwiddie for somebody else because they really didn't want him. But I mean, the guy came back tonight and he started and dropped 25 in his debut for us. So, and then Finney Smith almost had a double double tonight. I think he had like 9 and 9 or something like that, and he started too, I believe. So, I mean, the whole Kyrie saga's over in Brooklyn. He's over in Dallas, and I'm just gonna keep looking forward to the team we got.
Jay,
I don't even know where to start with this one. Just I, I I'll put it this way: you have to look at the picks from a GM planning standpoint because if I'm a GM and I have 5 to 6, 7 years sometimes to get these things to put together the best team that I can. And you know, with the Nets, what I'm learning is the Nets are a destination for teams that want to trade their stars because they have assets and because players come here and they win, they get the benefits of New York, but they don't necessarily have the same level of backlash. So that's where it's appealing.
Oh,
When you
oh,
look,
we got a special guest, ladies and gentlemen.
oh, here we go.
Oh.
Joined right on time. So give it a second, comment. We're going over the Kyrie trade right now.
You got it.
Go ahead, Jay.
So you just kind of got to look at it from the standpoint of like, who's the next star? Because you got a bunch of these young guys that are hitting their primes, and it's like, all right, who's the next star? Because all these guys are not going to stay where they are. So it's like, okay, it's 2023 now. Who's coming down the pipeline in the next 4 years? Once you see that, then it's like, okay, if the Nets are good, then you have a bunch of second round picks. If the Nets are bad, then you have a bunch of premium picks. So it's a win-win situation. The players are just like, all right, Spencer is gonna ball. Dorian Finney-Smith is a culture changer. Cool, fine, great. But it's not even about those guys right now. It's 100% about those picks because let's be real, this front office is probably not going to make those picks anyway. So this is about flipping those picks for assets in the very near future.
Calvin, what are your thoughts on this Kyrie trade?
I think, and I haven't heard this really from anybody, but it kind of, if you look at the roster that Brooklyn has, it kind of resets them to everything how it was before KD and Kyrie and them got to the team. They were promising. They had Kick. They had Jarrett Allen. Their version of Jarrett Allen now is what's his name?
Nick
Claxton.
Nick Claxton. Nick Claxton. Like, so they have a spunky team, and obviously Dinwiddie can play. He can play defense. He's a 3-and-D. He can shoot the three. And then on top of that, what's my man that just did the three back-to-back 40-point games?
Cam
Cam
Thomas.
Thomas.
Thomas. Like, so they got a nice youth movement going. I think not to be that guy, but they need to do kind of what the Cavs did. They really need to commit because the problem with Brooklyn since the Mikhail Prokhorov days, they've been trying to rush the process. They've been trying to skip past the growth part and just trying to buy their way in, like a lot of you have said in previous chats. So they really need to embrace the youth movement, not like the half in, half out that the other team in New York is doing that I can't really speak on. But yeah, they need to fully embrace it, develop their core, develop a culture. And they're starting to do that with the coach. And they kind of really need to embrace it. So whether they use the picks or not, they really need to establish something right now to have an identity. Because right now, the Brooklyn Nets don't have an identity. Like when it was just those three, they weren't the Brooklyn Nets. It was KD, Kyrie, and James Harden. Then it was KD, Kyrie, and Ben Simmons. And then it was really just KD and Kyrie. So it's really they have to develop a culture and an identity. And like I said, whether they use those picks or not, it remains to be seen. But they really need to embrace that youth movement and start from ground zero.
We were talking about it. We were talking about before actually we got on, and we were saying as far as like, I loved when we had Kenny Atkinson because we were built. We had young players. We had young talent. We had Jared Allen. We had Karis LeVert. We had Deloading. Like we had young talent, and it just always was like
He's an
you're
asterisk.
building. Huh?
I said he did good for the Nets, but I still think Russell was an asterisk.
Yeah, I mean he was doing well for us. It was like you said, we had young talent, and then you brought in one star, and once you brought that one star, we went straight from youth movement to we gotta win now, and like it just flipped everything. Like you said, we got rid of Karras, which I hated. Me and Paul lost our minds when we traded Jarrett Allen.
That
Like,
was a blessing in disguise, though, for Harris.
yeah, I know. Like
Yeah.
it was just, and then you got rid of Atkinson, who helped build and change the entire culture, just so you could go off and get some high profile coach that could deal with high profile stars. And now it didn't work again, and now you gotta blow it up again. So it's like hopefully now, like you said, you have Cam, Dinwiddie's still young, Claxton's still young. Like you got a lot of young pieces. The only thing I wish we would have did is move Joe Harris, and I wish we would have moved Ben Simmons.
Nobody's gonna really take Ben Simmons. You got to buy that man out. Uh,
Yeah, I know.
just gonna let him use this space around this young core to kind of really grow back and develop into the player that he was. But with a shot. But another player that I like on the Brooklyn Nets that I feel like isn't getting enough buzz. I mean, he got a little buzz and he's kind of inconsistent. But what's my guy from Japan?
Yuta
Watabi.
Watanabe.
Watanabe. That's my guy.
Yeah, he's solid.
Yeah.
He's solid. I feel like he has as much potential as they thought that Rui Hachimura had. He just needs the space to kind of grow. The only problem I foresee with the Nets is if they get too log jammed, like the how Detroit is, or how the Magic are with their certain positions are kind of just tight because they have too many players in rotation. That's the only thing. Like they got to pick their core players and kind of develop and grow them.
Like I like the kid Watanabe. I like him. He is pretty solid. He's inconsistent, but I like him.
Yeah, like I said,
Yeah.
it's like how Rui was. He's inconsistent because his minutes are inconsistent, so he can't establish a rhythm. But he it looks like he has a solid mid range game. I didn't really see enough of his 3 point. I seen him kill some shots, but not consistently, like you said. So I feel
His
like
his outside shot's not that bad. It's okay. He's got to work on it some more. He's got that. He's got that ability to space the floor out though. But if he
Mhm,
works on that 3 point shot, he'll be more effective on spacing it out though,
mhm.
because he has that little jumper.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, this trade needed to get done, and I felt like I was saying before, the Clippers are in on Kyrie, and we were getting man in return, and that's one play I wanted to have when I saw that. But I was like, okay, who else do we have to give up? Because we gave up Markieff Morris in this one. Who else the Clippers want besides Kyrie? There was no
You
way that they
know,
were just going to take Kyrie.
this all could have been avoided if Kyrie never picked up that stupid option.
Well, the reason why he picked up the option was because nobody wanted to pay him the money he wanted.
I mean, the Lakers would have gave him. Well, the Lakers ain't really have nothing to work with.
They had no money. They weren't going, and he wasn't going to take the vet minimum.
Mhm.
And now he's like, and now with the, like I said, Dallas got a rental player because you don't know what he's going to do. You really don't. It's Kyrie. He could be
Mhm.
like, yeah, I'm going to stay here. Come end of the season, he's like, you know what? I'm going to go to LA. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go there.
He
I'm
did
going
say
to
he
go to
was his
Phoenix.
career in or resign in Boston.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You cannot trust Kyrie if he says he's going to resign with you until he puts pen to paper. You know, and
So
again, these picks
I was
are a little in the future, but I mean, you got to think about it.
I was losing my mind.
You got to think about it. In this time, like what? It's like 4 years. Kyrie won't be there. Luca was going to be what? He's going to be in his 30s, maybe early 30s, maybe. How old is
How
Luca?
old? Luka's
Giannis
like what?
just hit 33, by the way.
Who?
Giannis just hit a 33. I got the Laker game on.
Okay, how old is
Uh,
Luca? Luca's what?
Look at
24,
26.
26?
No, he's either 24 or 26. He's not that. He's not that past that mark yet, but he's still pretty young.
I know he's in his 20s. Let me see.
I was say I thought he was like 24, 25.
He's 23.
There you go,
So
24.
he'll be 27. So he'll still be good. He'll still be good. 27, 29. He'll still be good. But it depends on what happens because of the fact that it's 4 years. Anything could happen in 4 years. You know what I mean? So these picks will be interesting to see what happens. You know, especially that 2029. That 27 is a second round pick. So that's like, it's that first round pick that's unprotected that we got to keep an eye on.
Mhm.
Dinwiddie coming back is interesting because he was like, and like you said, they wanted to flip him. Finney Smith is going to be one of those where like, I agree with Calvin's. Like we're back to what we like hit a reset to where we were before we make these trades for Kyrie and KD. We got
Not that reset to be at. Y'all could be the Magic right now.
no, but I'm saying this is a reset to back to where we were at the young and fun to watch. We'll score some games. We might lose, but we'll be there. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
it's gonna be
And
interesting to see.
and we saved $100 million in luxury tax.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the next trade is the interesting one because this is where we had a player that people wanted from us, and we said no because we were going to keep him to build around him.
Who?
KD.
Yeah.
No, Michael Bridges. When we traded KD and TJ Warren, we got Michael Bridges, Cam Johnson, and Jay Crowder with the four
Mikael
first
Bridges
round
is a good
picks.
piece. I forgot about him.
Yeah,
And
we
they kind of got traded off to the Bucks.
we're gonna go into that a little bit, but people were calling the Nets for Michael Bridges. They wanted Michael Bridges. The Nets were like, no, we're keeping him. We want to rebuild with him in mind. So that should help him mentally to be like, okay, they want me here. It's not just like a stop for me. So it's going to be interesting to watch when these two guys, most likely Michael suits up and see what they does like with the squad. So it's like again, it's going to be one of those that fun squad we had with Karis LeVert and Jared Allen and them.
Like I said, you like we really put it in KD's hands. So even like I woke up and initially I was surprised, but at the same time I was just like, from everything I read, it was either KD, you want to stay here? We're gonna try to build a team around you, or we can explore a trade. So clearly, whatever the meeting happened, whatever, he probably just was like, yo, I'd rather just go.
Mhm.
So to wake up and we got traded, whatever, and I see 4 first round picks, I'm like, whatever. Like, it's not a bad place to be at all. And like you said, Mikael Bridges and what's his name, Cam Johnson. I'm like, it's two good young players. Mikael Bridges was like a defensive player of the year or one of the defensive players in the league. And then you got Cam. Cam's a good 3-and-D guy. Like another one's going to come a young squad. So between those two, Cam, Dinwiddie leading on the court. You got Nick Claxton, Sharp, Patty Mills, maybe just coming off the bench. He's like Kawhi Watanabe. Like we're not going to be winning 80 games, but we're going to be a fun team to watch. Young and
You'll be
just dynamic.
competitive.
So
You'll definitely be competitive.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. The
Like
thing,
I see. Like how like the Grizzlies initially had a lot of talent, but it wasn't put together,
mm-hmm.
and they didn't really like they weren't there yet. They were just fresh out of it, and there was a lot of just a lot of raw talent. That's what you guys have right now. You guys have raw talent. It just needs to cultivate. Like Mikal Bridges, like he can definitely blossom. Like you guys have the keys. Like if you really think about it, like you have solid defense, you have players that can stretch the floor. It's just a lot of question marks because they're still unknown, they're still raw. If you give them time to grow and gel, they could really blossom and you can see what you have. You can see who's the pretenders and who's really like, okay, they're really going to develop into some problems. So it could be just like, how Memphis had. You just gotta really just give it time. I mean, and honestly, it's no time like the present anyway. Like, what's the rush for? You're not going to beat the Bucks anytime soon. You're not going to beat
really,
you're not going to beat the Lakers. Who else? You're not going to beat the Heat. You're not going to beat Boston. Definitely not going to beat the Cavs. Not trying to be biased, but
Philly.
Philly. Yeah, I keep forgetting Philly. Like, so what's the rush? And then now we just saw and I'm sure you guys said that you'll get into the West later, but we just saw everything that the West really did. Like, come on, the West is stacked. Like before the trade, everybody was like, the East is pretty tight. After like 6, it kind of falls off. The East is tight. The West is separated by the one game, but now the West is like legitimately snug. Like you can't squeeze a fart through a jean. Like it's crazy right now.
No,
It's
this
tight.
this this was literally a whole power shift. Like before, it was the conferences were balanced. Now the power just went back to the West.
hmm Yeah, it was the first time in a long time the East had a little dominance over the West.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yep. Jay, what are your thoughts on this trade?
It's now or never for CP3. That's all I'm saying.
Yo, he's like one hamstring away.
It's now or never for CP3. If he ever gonna get a ring, it's right now. I mean, the Villanova boys just pretty much took New York, so more power to them.
Oh,
But Jesus, 4 first-round picks.
yo, man,
Never
what's going
thought
on?
I'd see that.
It's going everywhere.
Hmm?
What's up with all these second round picks flying everywhere? People don't care about the second round no more?
There's only 2 rounds in the NBA, so the higher up the second round picks are, it's essentially pseudo first round picks, depending on who drops.
No, I'm just saying, like it's been a lot of them flying around. Like
I know.
everybody passing out 4 second-round picks, 5 second-round picks. I'm like, damn, like
Probably because they don't have no more first rounders, so they got to stack up the second rounders.
Yep.
yeah,
And
Like
then
you said,
use those second rounders to move up.
those second rounders gonna be key.
Yeah.
Who got it right now? The Thunder still got a lot. Jazz still got a lot. Brooklyn now has a sizable amount.
Houston still has a lot.
Well, Houston just really kind of snagged a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's going on? You know what I found funny about this entire trade? Not this trade in particular, but just about the trade deadline. Like, Eric Gordon really keep bouncing back and forth between the Rockets and the Clippers. Like yo, this bro can't get away. Like he had,
Him or John Wall right now.
yo, John Wall about to go back to the Wizards.
At this point, might as well.
Yeah.
like,
All right, let's go back
but
to this.
watch these buyouts though. That buyout market gonna be crazy.
It
Yeah,
is.
the
It is.
buyout market is really, to me, what's going to solidify who's at the top of the Heat and who's just gonna get left behind.
I'm assuming everybody going to the Lakers. Did the Lakers clear up some space with these trades? Because I feel like they shut out a lot of contracts. So they have some moves, and they still have roster space.
They got roster space. I don't know about the money because they took money in. We'll get into that. So this is another 3-team trade right here. So the Nets flipped Jay Crowder to the Bucks, sent him over there. The Pacers got Jordan Nwari, Serge Ibaka, and 2 second rounders, and the Nets got 5 first round picks.
Well, to add to this,
5 second-round picks, not first.
Oh, second round? I thought it was first.
Yeah,
no,
they were not for Jay Crowder. 5 first-round picks, not 5
They
seconds.
put in here, and on top of that, Serge Ibaka just got bought out.
yep.
Yeah.
So Serge Ibaka is a part of that market too. Even though I'm not going to front, he's not really a plus anymore. So I wouldn't even be surprised if he doesn't get signed.
I was about to ask that because, like, looking at these two players, right? Because obviously the Bucks have been pining over Jay Crowder for forever. But what value do we place in Jay Crowder and Serge Ibaka at this point? We know I always felt like Serge Ibaka didn't really live up to the hype. Like he had a few serviceable, really solid years. Obviously, when he was on the Thunder, where he was like he was known as Serge Ibaka, as we all know, but he never really like took off like that and went to that next plane. He was just always better than average. Like he was never super great.
Again,
Well, I mean,
it depends on your definition of what that is, because
what did you
within
expect?
within the role that he had, he was incredible. But did he develop more of an offensive game? Did he turn into an all-around player? No, he didn't.
That's what I was expecting.
Then that's you fucking up with that expectation. The projection for Serge was never for him to turn into an all-around player. The projection for Serge was he was a super athletic, slightly undersized power forward that could block shots and could solidify a defense, and he could play in between. That's why they went and got what the fuck is his name? That's why when he played off KD. He played off other players. He was never the type that you needed to kind of complete his own game, because he was never going to be the star of his own team.
Right.
You got to remember too, when he came in, the big man was literally just to take up space, grab rebounds, and whatever. They weren't asked for offense. It literally that's like the moment that was like the small window when like the center like was gone. It was just a 4. You could play a 4 in the center and you'll be fine. So like I didn't expect much from Ibaka. Like he played his potential, which was the defensive side, the blocks, the rebounds, and that was it.
And then he added a decent 3-point shot for a while, so to me, he exceeded expectations, especially for being I think he was a second-round pick.
Yeah. This one was interesting because I heard rumors that the Nets were gonna buy out Jay Crowder.
He didn't want to be there.
No,
But I mean, they flipped him. That's best case scenario, honestly.
Yeah. It worked out great for the Nets. I mean, it was a great deal for them. It worked out for them in so many ways. But some other trades that happened was the Celtics acquired Mike Muscala from the Thunder. Thunder got
That's gonna
Justin.
be a sneaky good pickup.
Yeah, Thunder got Justin Jackson, sorry, two future second round picks. Um,
Which
let's see.
again, they just add into their treasure trove. But I
Yeah,
mean, I think Muscala is a great addition because it gives him a different dimension from that big man position. Like he's a guy that can really knock down the three for them, and
mhm,
it's something that they were supposed to get with Danilo and just never got because he got hurt.
yeah.
So it gives them that dimension back of a big man who can stretch the floor, and you can play what's his face uh
Williams.
Robert Williams more at the center. You can have Muscala at the four, or
Yeah,
you can alternate. Like now, you can give JT some rest, and you can just play Jalen Brown by himself because now you have that 3 point threat. So that when the defense collapses, they have somebody there, and you also have a guy that's big enough to go in there and muck it up on defense, or at least be a body in the way on defense. It's a good move. It's a really really good move.
yeah. Another one is interesting was the Lakers traded Thomas Bryant to the Nuggets for Davon Reed, the 2025 second round pick, the 2026 second round pick, and the 2029 second round pick.
This one was more so because Thomas Bryant requested a trade.
And we learned that after the fact.
Yeah, this was more so him requesting a trade because he didn't like the way he was being used, which I understand. I get it. It makes sense.
Yeah, and this is the one that kind of caught me by surprise.
I think it caught all of us by surprise.
The Sixers traded Matisse Thybulle.
Well, I wouldn't say that
That one
it's a
caught me by
surprise
surprise.
because Thibault's been on his name's been in trade rumors for like the last 3 years.
Yeah, but the problem was is the Sixers wanted so much from him for him. You know what I mean?
At some point, the request was going to weather down for some team. Like honestly, you knew what he was. You're getting a defensive ace. That's it.
Yeah, I think what happened was, like I said in the chat, I think what happened was his contract was gonna come up soon. They had to resign him, and because they have all these other players they have to pay out, they'd rather get something in return for him, which they sent him out, shipped him out to the Blazers in a three-team deal. The Blazers got Matisse, the Sixers got Jalen McDaniels, a 2024 second round pick via the Knicks, the 2029 second round pick via the Blazers, and the Hornets got the Sixers 2023 second round pick, and I can't pronounce his last name, Mikaluki.
God
Mike,
bless you.
yeah, that thing, that
That
guy.
must have been after the Josh Hart deal because I'm like, how the hell
Let
was
me
he
see.
getting this deal? But I
I
think
don't
that
know
was
how
after the Josh Hart deal.
I don't know how any three of those trades moved the needle for any of those teams.
It's all lateral. That's the
Yeah,
funny part is that a lot of these
yeah, but it
trades,
did.
this like cycle, they're all lateral. Like no, as much as there was like movement, nobody really got better.
Like the Cam Reddish thing. Like I feel like you're really banking on his potential. Like you think his potential was higher than what you had for Josh Hart.
I think
Yeah,
what happened was because this one happened at 12:45. The Josh Hart happened and Cameron Reddish trade happened later. I think that's why the Blazers pulled the trigger on the Josh Hart Cameron Reddish trade. If they weren't able to get Matisse, I don't think they would have traded Josh Hart.
Yeah.
well,
The
The
time,
Nuggets,
the
I like
Tyler
that Thomas Bryant.
yo, it threw me off because I thought when AD came back healthy, they were gonna keep Tyler Bryant at the five and push AD at the four because you know AD hates the five. He hates the five.
they can
You know,
still do it.
just like how Kevin Garnett hated playing the five. Like he wants to play the four. So that's why I thought, and when AD was out and we saw how Tyler Bryant was really turning up and he was scoring and he was playing defense and he was holding it down, I was like, all right, bet they found their big. So now you got Reclamation Project in Mobamba. And what's the other dude that they picked up from was it the Jazz
no, no, no.
that the Lakers picked up? The other power forward they picked up,
Malik Beasley.
not Malik Beasley, but the other one. I think
Oh, Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that guy, Fred.
So I mean they got youth in defense, but I don't know. I mean, hopefully it works out. They got enough, length and big bodies. So
I
we'll
was
see.
surprised because the Lakers, from what I believe, the Lakers drafted Thomas Bryant, and then I believe they drafted him originally, and then they moved him. They got him again, and he was balling for him. Like
Yeah,
he was balling for him, and then you just like you trade him off again. I'm like, I didn't understand that at all. Like,
the chemistry was there. At least externally, it looks like it.
and the same thing you just said. I thought he would have been there 5, and you can 8. He could kind of play his mid range kind of game. He'd have to bang on the inside as much. So I don't know. I just that surprised me because the kid has talent. He kind of produces given the minutes he gets everywhere he's gone so far.
Mm-hmm. And what's funny, and this is completely unrelated, but Rui Hachimura looks a lot more like Giannis than Giannis' siblings, and I find that hilarious. They were just standing next to each other. Like they were. I'm like, his brothers don't look like him at all. like,
What's
yo,
that?
that's crazy.
Thanasis, where there is.
Yeah, the Nationals, and then there's the other one that plays on the Bucks. Yeah, where's
Yeah,
He's not on the
maybe the
Lakers.
G League. Maybe the G League.
You mean Costas?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you go.
Costas went overseas.
okay. Costas is
Wow.
over. Thanasis is with the Bucks.
I couldn't remember the third one.
The youngest one, Alex, is in the G League.
Yeah, but he didn't even get drafted yet. He's the next prospect that
No. He was draft eligible.
Yeah, but he
Didn't get
didn't.
drafted.
I thought he didn't declare.
No, he declared out of the G League. He
Oh,
just didn't get drafted.
and Giannis, I mean, he might have been hyping him up, but he said that he thinks he's better than him.
He hasn't shown it.
Yeah, that's the rumor. The rumor was that the youngest one's supposed to be better than all of them.
And he never showed it.
Well, that's not really saying much because the other two ain't really got the biz.
I'm about to say,
Like
Austin and Thanasis ain't doing nothing.
Thanasis is really looking like what's old boy that was supposed to be nice but flamed out on the Bucks also. He was. Oh damn it! I keep thinking of Hakeem Thabit, but that's not him. Don Maker.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, Don Maker.
Don Maker was supposed to be the defensive version of everybody. When they came in, they would say like, Giannis is all offense. He needs to develop his defense. They said Don Maker is all defense, but needs to develop his offense. He never developed either or, and just fizzled out. But he was supposed to complement Giannis, and now Giannis' brother is essentially Don Maker, but he's just on the team because he's Giannis' brother. Matter of fact, I got one better for you. Giannis' brother is Udonis Haslem.
Oh my gosh. All right, so going back to these trades,
Yeah, trades.
this one was crazy.
I think this trade says more about Russell's character still, not Russell Westbrook, but D'Angelo Russell, than it does, for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Because once again, we got a trade that doesn't really move the needle for them. They got somebody who is just as good as a facilitator, but he's a leader and he can be consistent. And he'll get you with the right minute. He can get you a little bit like 14, maybe. Solid, pass the ball. He can be the playmaker that you need. He's not going to give you the ceiling of points that you have with D'Angelo Russell, but he makes smarter plays.
He's a stabilizer.
He's a stabilizer. And he's a great stabilizer because he's done it over his entire career.
And that's why they went and got him, because he's a stabilizer. And that's what that Timberwolves team needs. Like
you still got a headache. You still got a headache because I feel like the reason why that team didn't work is because you have two wishy-washy players that have high-ass potentials, but they just keep flip-flopping. You had D'Angelo Russell and you had Karl Anthony Towns.
Mm-hmm.
Now you just got Karl Anthony Towns. Like, Karl Anthony Towns is a freak. We all know he can ball. But my man will put up 50 one night and 6 the next.
He is Anthony Edwards, who's just, his personality-wise, is just, he's everywhere. That's why I think Mike Conley's there also for Anthony Edwards. Because at the end of the day, let's keep it real. Anthony Edwards is the centerpiece of that team. It's
Yep.
not Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, yeah. And Russell is another player that's gonna get bought out. There's no way he's staying in Utah.
Nah. He's going
No
to
way.
get bought.
That's
I wonder
that's
where he's gonna
already
go.
been that's already in the works. Like that's not.
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm
wonder
saying.
where he'll go.
Hmm?
I wonder where he'll go. What team can you
I don't
possibly?
know because the thing is,
Well,
they're saying
here,
the
here,
last week
here.
he was there, he was toxic. We had this conversation before.
I hate
He
that
was
kid.
toxic in the Lakers locker room.
Two teams I've heard so far are Miami and
And
Yeah,
who?
the Clippers.
Miami and the Clippers.
But
Oh,
when the trade was on the table, Charlotte kept coming up saying as they really wanted him. But
That nigga ain't going to Charlotte of his own free will.
here's the thing though. I wonder if Charlotte wanted it just to buy him out because you guys. I think you have to look at too is if certain teams wanted like Russell to buy him out to shave that salary cap.
Well, also I actually think they wanted him to play next to LaMelo.
That wouldn't work.
Nope, it wouldn't. That's why I said they wanted that explosive. They wanted that Oklahoma City explosive Russ. Where it's
Yeah,
like you take the ball out of his hands and just like when you give it to him, you just let him cook. It's not gonna work.
no.
I wonder if LeBron, because there's the stereo. I don't want to call it a stereotype, but it's the thing that they say about LeBron that he makes everything around him better. I think I'm wondering if they're banking on LeBron's leadership and experience and knowledge of the game is going to help take D'Lo's game to the next level.
I mean, if Kobe couldn't do it, I doubt LeBron can.
But think about it. Different styles of leadership. Different styles of
Sure.
leadership.
And D'Lo was younger too, though.
Yes,
D'Lo was
that's
younger.
one thing you can bank on is that D'Lo was younger, but D'Lo thrived when he was the alpha. When he was in Brooklyn, he was the unquestioned alpha.
Yeah,
That's where he thrived the most. Anywhere else where his leadership is questioned or he has to kind of yield to someone else, it's when he runs into problems.
You know what I think would be interesting?
that's why I saw. That's why when you said Miami Heat is interested in Russell, I'm looking at that one. I'm just like,
Oh
that's
no,
not
I was
gonna
talking
work.
about Russell Westbrook.
No, I'm talking about Russell. I'm going back to Russell to the
Oh no, I
Heat.
wasn't talking about DeAndre. I'm talking about Westbrook.
Oh,
I was
Westbrook.
talking about Westbrook.
Westbrook.
Westbrook is who's I heard the Heat and the Clippers are interested in. D'Angelo Russell, as far as I know, he was staying with the Lakers.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. No, Westbrook. I don't see him working out in Miami because of Pat Riley and the way that organization is and the way he is. It's not going to work.
Mm.
It's not
Where
going to work.
where can Russell Westbrook fit?
I honestly don't think he'll fit anywhere. To be honest,
Like it doesn't make sense to the Clippers. And the Clippers are honestly just looking for anybody.
I think the Clippers are looking at him because he has a relationship with Paul George.
Yeah. Like
That's
the
all that
Clippers
is.
right now, the
Hmm?
Clippers right now look like Squidward when he was inside of that box with the red hat with the cup, looking for a point guard. Spare point guard, spare point guard, point guard. Uh, but you know what's interesting, and I kind of feel bad for LeBron at this stage in his career. I feel like he's just looking for like the young like stars to be surrounding him to just run run the game, and he can just take over in spurts and relax and not have to exert as much. He can conserve his energy, but he just hasn't had it around him. Like I feel like if this is wishful thinking talking, but I feel like he's going to want to try to cultivate D'Lo and be like, hey yo, this is you and AD, y'all got this, and I'll just sit in the back and run everything when I need to, but this is for the most part, y'all got this, and I'll just step in and be like the finisher, the closer, the finisher, and y'all just take over for the most of the game. Again, I mean, it could work. I don't know how far they can go, but it really just depends on D'Lo's maturity and,
like
and will
that's a
and
good. That's
question mark.
a good one, but it's going to be interesting to watch that one play out because if the game is going on the bad side and he has to step in, how is D'Lo going to react? You
Right.
know what I mean? You're like, yo,
Mhm.
this is my team. He said, this is me. I'm leading, and why are you stepping in now? Oh, because we're losing. We need to bring it back. Well, let me do it. Well, no, because I let you do it for like the last 10 minutes, and we're still in the shit. So
So,
it's like it's one of those like
but like I said,
maybe
that's
he
that's
can
the
do it
part of
because
cultivating.
he's different from Kobe.
Yeah,
Because
it's
Kobe,
all about cultivating the mind,
yeah,
cultivating and growing. But all right, listen, I know you've been doing it this way, but look at all these different avenues. Like that's the one thing that you hear about former LeBron teammates. They always talk about how crazy his mind is and how he helps them see it from a different angle. Because you can be a great player, but sometimes it takes two minds melding together, three minds melding together to create a project. Like and not to be cheesy or cliche, but that's what it means to be a team. Like LeBron, they keep saying LeBron is the ultimate team player. Ultimately, he just wants to win. And if you're on his team, like he said thousands of times before, like, yo, it's go time. You with us and let's go. We gonna push and make it work. And he's gonna try to use your talents to the best of your ability. And all you have to do is grind, work, and push. You know? So we'll
Joe.
see. If there's anybody, remember, listen, LeBron made JaVale McGee look great. LeBron made JaVale McGee. I mean, he looked cool on the Warriors, but they had him reserved. On the Lakers, this man was damn near in a featured role, and he had him looking great. Like he gave him an extra like 3-4 years in his career.
Hey,
Like
yeah,
if anybody can do it, it'll definitely be LeBron. Like it's
yeah.
different styles of leadership because Kobe. Remember, Kobe was what 98, 99. He's from that old school draft.
That's what I'm saying. He was
You mean when he
like
got
Jordan.
drafted?
Yeah, like Kobe got drafted in the 90s.
No, I
Yeah,
know. I think he got drafted like 97,
96, 96.
96. I was like, I know it was a little earlier.
Earlier. Yeah, like
yeah.
but he's from that old school generation of NBA.
He's
You
a
know,
year older than me. That's why
it's
I
rigid.
remember that.
So it's a very rigid system. Like I remember I was watching Shaq talking during this whole LeBron thing, and he was talking about how with was it Hakeem Elijah? No, it wasn't Hakeem Olajuwon.
Kareem.
Not yeah, Kareem. He said that he was on the team. Kareem never really talked to him, and he thought that he ain't rock with him. But and so he was like, all right, bet. So I'm just gonna show you because you ain't gonna rock with me, give me no praise. And it's all about being gritty. He said even now to this day, like he doesn't push like when he comes to like pushing big men in his own way. He rather criticize and push them like and challenge them as opposed to like really not coddling, but just being more of a constructive feedback. It's more direct. Like you need to do this as opposed to I think you should do this. So, like I said, it's different leadership styles. And being that LeBron is the ultimate team player, he might be the only one that can bring it out of him. And that's what I'm banking on. I mean, listen, I'm a LeBron fan. I'm always going, boost LeBron. But like, that's what I'm hoping because honestly, I ultimately, and I know this wasn't the conversation, but ultimately, I want to see LeBron get more rings. And listen, man, if he can do it, if anybody should bring it out of D'Lo, I think it'll be LeBron.
Not how
It's
the West is looking right now. Not how that West is looking right now.
listen.
If he wants more rings, he's gonna have to go back to Cleveland.
I don't want
Word.
that. I don't want that.
That man
I
better
do
go be
not
the
want
sixth man on the Suns.
I
Shit.
do not
That
want
nigga
that.
better go be a coach.
Nah, he better go be a warrior.
He's
He
not gonna
better go
win it
be.
in the West.
He better go. He better go be a
Word.
coach.
Yeah,
He
Joe.
better
What
go
are your
play
thoughts on
for
this
a referee.
three-team fanatical
I
trade over
mean,
here?
you know, it gets Russ out of a bad situation. It puts Conley in yet another situation where he has to be the adult, and it puts D'Lo in another situation where he once again has to adapt. Like again, I feel like it's all lateral. Like no one actually got better here. I mean, the Lakers probably got better just by subtraction because apparently he was a leech or a vampire, whatever adjective people want to use or noun people want to use for him. Which at this point is like the word is out on him. Whatever's going on in the locker room, it's going on in multiple locker rooms. It's just gonna follow him. Like I feel bad for him that he gets trashed in the media like that, especially for his family. But like at this point, it's not everybody else, bro. It's you. Like I don't know what else to tell you. But I mean, this trade is more so about the names of guys who they used to be, because like nobody here has really pushed their team over in the last like 2-3 years. So it's the trade of a bygone era. It's kind of inconsequential. It's like, all right, cool, like we know these names, but in reality, from a basketball standpoint, it doesn't do anything. Doesn't mean anything.
Joe.
Um, I mean, it puts it into the whole Russell Westbrook saga in LA. Like whether he was starting or he was the sixth man, all the crap that was going on, and everybody talking about how he was a cancer and he was toxic, and the Lakers not knowing what to do with him and everything. So it moves him. He, like you guys said, he's not going to stay in Utah. So, like you guys, I am interested to see where he's going to go next. It was interesting to see Loden go back home because I mean, obviously, he got drafted by the Lakers. It didn't work out the first time, and from there he went, to the Nets and he went to the T Wolves and everything, and now he's back. And from what I read, he got like a really big, applause on his return. So hopefully he's a better player just time around, and just on and off the court carries himself better. And and I think Conley to the T Wolves, I think is a sneaky. I think Conley to the T Wolves is like a sneaky good move. Like he's not the same Mike Conley he was, but I think he's going to bring some leadership and stability to the team. So
Yeah, that's Conley ends up being like that that one player you can always count on. He does his job, it does it well, and that's it. He's not like Jason not the needle mover, but
yeah,
he's
not at all.
someone you can count on though. He's consistent at what he does. Like he's gonna get you these many points, these many assists. He's gonna handle the ball well, and he's gonna control it well. D'Lo is what he is. If you let him play, he's an all-star caliber player. But you have to let him play his style of ball. If you like he was in Brooklyn. If you let him play like he was in Brooklyn, your team is gonna have much more potential to go as far as they can. But if you handcuff him and you pretty much dictate him how he's supposed to play, it's going to be problems. Russell, he's put it this way: if he signs with another team, that might be his last chance in the NBA. He might be gone after that.
For what it's worth, I don't remember. I don't know if y'all remember this because it got kind of lost in the shuffle. But the Lakers brass didn't really want to let D'Angelo Russell go the first time. It's not that they wanted to; they had to for the culture. We all saw what was happening. He was high fiving himself. Like they saw his talent, they wanted to grow his talent, but he couldn't fit with the team anymore because of what he did.
Uh-huh.
So, like you said, hopefully
Oh
he's
yeah, it was the Nick Young shit. I
yeah,
Yeah,
forgot about that.
yeah. That's why
Swaggy
he was
P.
going. That's why he
Swaggy
was
P.
going. He ruined the locker room. Nobody wanted to play with him.
Yeah,
Because the lottery was going, so they had to get rid of him. They didn't want to. They had to. So now that he's back, maybe you can,
It
like I said,
probably is because I don't think anybody from that team is on the team now, let alone in the
it was
league.
Russell, it was Josh Hart, it was Randall, it was Ingram, and I'm missing somebody else.
What was it, Lonzo? I don't know.
Kuzma, Kuz.
Kuz, yep.
Yeah, ain't none of them niggas on that team, so it don't matter.
Yeah. All right, now let's add these two that came in as part of this trade: Mo Bamba and the one that left that got shipped out,
Yo, how
Patrick
funny was
Beverly.
that tweet? How funny was that tweet? He should have known better to not tweet on the last day of the trade deadline.
Well,
Bruh,
it don't matter because he's getting bought out anyway.
bruh said the band is back. You know what? I have a question, and maybe y'all can help me with this because I was wondering this because I forgot. When somebody is bought out, or if somebody's traded and they get bought out, could they go back to the team that they were traded to?
That
Or
they were
traded
traded
from?
from, no,
Traded
they
from?
can't.
Or do
No,
they have to wait a year?
they have to wait a year.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't recall.
No, you can't just go back. But word is he's looking to go back to Minnesota.
Okay. I mean, I feel like with what the Lakers had, it kind of makes him redundant. Like even now, Dennis Schroeder is back to playing like Dennis Schroeder, and right now he has like 25 points, and he plays defense. So I mean, that's the basketball Eli Apple right there, man. So
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the perfect way to put it. Like, again, the best case scenario you can find is if Mo Bamba begins the fact that now he gets a chance to actually play. That's the biggest key for me, is that Mo Bamba
will he?
never got the shot to really play.
Will he though? So that it's three bigs outside of AD that they're thinking about playing between the 3 and the 4.
Okay.
There's Bamba, there's
Mm-hmm.
Wembley or Wenye, whatever his name is,
Mm-hmm.
and there's the dude that they just picked up from in the trade with Russell, with Mikal Bridges. I mean, that
I
he became
mean,
Vanderbilt.
Jared Vanderbilt.
Yep. So
I
Vanderbilt,
I
Wembley,
only see
and
Bamba will probably play because of his size and his length. So it's one of those situations where it's like he just has to learn how to play, and he's never really gotten the shot to learn how to play.
who has the bigger upside between those three?
It's gotta be Mo Bamba, and it's not close. Because
You
Mo
think
Bamba
so?
already has touch. He already has the jump shot. He already has a more advanced offensive game. He just never got playing time.
So you would put him at the center spot, AG at the 4, and then
Yep.
you'd have what else we got? We got LeBron at 3,
Mm-hmm.
and then we will put what's his name? Not I keep thinking Bridges, but it's not his name. Beasley at the 2, and then
I
Russell
guess.
at the 1,
I guess.
Hmm.
I don't
and
know
then
the Lakers are also like that.
you have what you have Vanderboot come off the bench
Yeah.
with Wembley coming off the bench with him.
Yeah. Why
And
not?
they got is another kid Max Christie and Scottie Pippen Jr. over there.
Yep, they have the two ones that they didn't want to give up, Christie and the other one, Christie
Agreed.
and Woods, and then they also still got Schroeder. So I mean they have all right, they all right, but it's
Yeah.
just shit.
They should be solid.
Yeah, they're
Are they going to be
definitely.
elite? I don't know. They have upside elite player talent, but I don't know if the second half of the year is enough time.
Yeah, don't forget they got Davon Reed also. He's a forward.
Oh yeah, that's they just picked him up in what trade did they pick him up in?
That was in the Mo Bamba trade.
Okay,
I thought that was in the Travis Bryant trade.
yes, it was the Tyler Bryant trade.
Was the
Where do you
Thomas
get
Bryant trade?
Tyler Bryant from? His name is
Thomas.
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 Thomas. There
I
we
thought
go.
it was Tyler.
No, it's Thomas.
Yo, Joe, you got to fix one of those posts.
What?
I thought I made a Tyler. I think I called him Tyler Bryant in the post.
Yeah, Thomas Bryant was also part of the Mo Bamba trade because that was the
Okay.
Nugget. Yeah,
Yeah, wild stuff.
Bones Highland. Yeah.
That's a
They don't really do
that is a
nothing.
sneaky good pickup for the
What is
Clippers.
it? I don't know.
Bones is a killer for real. Bones is a straight up killer.
Inconsistent. He gets hot. The boy get hot.
Bones is a straight up killer, bro.
Jay, we got to talk about this. We got to
Talk
talk about
about it.
this. What do you
Fuck is
think
there to
about this
talk
one?
about?
What do you think about this one?
I think it's not a needle move where it's like, okay, now they're set up to make a run. It's not one of those kind of moves. He's a solid guy that gives you the production that you want. You know what you're gonna get from him. He's been a dream apparently from Thibodeau since he got drafted. He lost the battle to draft him in when he was with the Timberwolves. He has a relationship with Jalen Brunson. He has a relationship with uh what's his name? Julius Randle. He's played in the Garden for most of his college career because he was with those Villanova teams. He is a solid rebounder as a guard, which is something that the Knicks don't have right now. He can give you 10 to 15 points. He shoots about 50% from three. He gives you everything you kind of need as like a glue guy for what this team has. He covers up a lot of the problems that the Knicks have. So I mean, like, they got what they want. They got what they wanted in terms of a guy that can plug a hole.
So here's the question:
What?
Thibodeau loves to have a small rotation.
Right?
Like, so who's
Deuce.
asked out?
Deuce. It's a very simple equation. It's Deuce McBride. He's just not gonna play again. I don't see why I don't get even why there's a question here. No, it's probably gonna be Deuce. Next. Like,
I just didn't
it's
understand.
gonna be Deuce, and then they're probably gonna move Grimes to the bench just because of the way he's been playing. Josh is a lot more reliable, so he's probably gonna start next to Brunson.
Yeah, but the thing is, I didn't like the way Reddish. I felt Reddish got the short end of the stick over in.
I don't
Yeah,
disagree
we
with
got
you.
first shit at all. Period.
I don't disagree with you. I think honestly, I feel like the whole way Thibodeau treated Cam Reddish and the way Thibodeau treats a lot of his players is just straight up bullshit. Like, I'm
Yeah,
not a fan of Thibodeau at all,
no,
but it is what it is. Like,
What
I
do you
think
guys think about RJ Barrett? Because I feel like he's just once again we got an inconsistent player.
no, he's still young, man, and that's people tend to forget. Like
again,
he's
and
like
people feel
really
like you
young.
have to be great by 23. This
No,
is
no,
the
no, no.
problem that I have. You have to be great by 23. It's not like you're not supposed to be inconsistent if you're 23. It's like the nigga is 23 years old. Yes, he's going to be inconsistent. Cool. He was never that great of a jump shooter. He's still trying to find his way that way. He still consistently scores 20 points. He still is one of the youngest Knicks to hit, I think, 3 or 4,000 points. I forgot what the fucking stat was. Like, he's done everything he's supposed to do as a number 3 pick. It just doesn't look pretty. So again, I don't understand where this quote unquote inconsistency comes from. He
Yeah,
has a
He's
couple of bad
averaging.
games.
He doesn't
How is
get
he
20 points.
inconsistent? Excuse
He
me?
does not get 20 points consistently.
He what?
He does not get 20 points consistently.
But he averages 20 points. What's the
Is he
problem?
averaging 20 points? I don't know that
Yes,
yet.
he is
I can
averaging 20 points.
Jay, you know what it is? I think what the problem is the problem is that when they need RJ to show up, it's just one of those games where he's just having an off night. You
This
know what I
is
mean?
recency bias in the worst possible way.
how?
Because when they've needed him to show up, he's shown up. Is he like Kobe? Is he doing what John Moran is doing or Devin Booker or those guys? No, he's not. But when they've needed him to show up, he has shown up. The problem is when he shows up, nobody else does. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Everyone has this weird definition of what he's supposed to look like instead of just looking at what he is.
I don't see the thing
I
with
honestly don't know what he's
RJ.
supposed to be.
Go ahead, Calvin.
I honestly don't know what he's supposed to be.
I literally looked at him. I'm like, I look at him. He's right now he's a younger version of Jimmy Butler.
Ah,
That's it. He's a younger version of Jimmy Butler. If you look at Jimmy Butler before he became the Jimmy Butler of Miami that we know now, if you look at young Jimmy Butler on the Bulls, he took a lot of bad shots, missed a lot of bad shots, but when he started making them, he really made them. When he
Yeah,
needed those moments, he had those moments.
yeah.
So
RJ
again,
just scores more points.
exactly. That's it. People
and
want like, oh,
his defense
they want
isn't
him to
like
have crazy handles. They want him to have highlight plays. That's
it's
the
defense, not like
problem with the way that people look at basketball. It's all about the highlight plays. No one wants a steady, consistent player.
oh, I do. That's why
So
I'm.
it's one of
That's
those
why I'm
situations where it's like,
so
is he a
much.
superstar? No. Should he have been a superstar getting drafted at the number 3 overall pick? Maybe. So if you're looking at it from that standpoint of like, well, he's not a superstar, therefore he's a bust. Cool. You can have that argument with yourself.
I don't think he's a bust.
I don't think he is either. I personally don't see why everyone is so hard on RJ. Where it's, oh, he's inconsistent, he's this, he's that, he's this, he's that, and I'm like, he's still 23 years old. Now, granted, there are megastar 23-year-olds in the league, and I'm not comparing him to those people. But if you're looking at, the fact that Zion is a freak athlete, Ja's a freak athlete, RJ is a regular athlete. That is literally the only difference between them. They can get away with it because they're freak athletes. RJ's not a freak athlete. He's not going to jump out the gym. He's not going to make these crazy highlight plays. He's not going to be the guy to, every you're waiting for him to like bang on somebody or hit a big three all the time. But he's done it. He's done it. The issue I think too is the fact of they being Tibbs won't they've somewhat handcuffed him because he still has to be the second to Julius's first, and they refuse to have the team go around anybody else except until now, where it feels like Jalen Brunson's the alpha of the group and Julius Randle's the second option, which say what it is, whatever. The fact that RJ's the third option, some people's like, oh, so RJ's a bust because he's the third option. Okay.
But I've never heard anybody call RJ a bust at all.
I've heard a lot. You don't be on Nick's Twitter.
Yeah.
You don't be on Nick's Twitter. That's why.
Oh no, I
That's
don't be
why I
on.
can speak to it. If you talk to the Knicks fan base, there are those who are like,
Look, if there's anybody in this video call that could be more in tune with Nick's fan base, I think it would be me. Uh, I don't count Twitter as a fan base because when you look at half of the people complaining, they have like 5 followers. And I'm not big on followers, but I'm big on noticing when people are ghost pages. Like people just be saying stuff, be saying stuff. So I don't,
I
as
get it,
much as I get so much
but
from.
it's not. It's the credible people. It's the people you see on SNY. It's the people that
You never heard a sports pundit call uh, RJ Barrett a bust, and I watch ESPN, SNY. I watch
I'm not
sports.
saying they call him a bust. I'm saying that the criticisms of RJ, to me at least, feel very biased and extremely harsh for no apparent reason. Especially
No,
when Brooklyn was at the top of the mountain. It's,
like I feel like
well,
most people just
he's
looking for
not
him to
Kyrie,
take
he's not
extra
KD,
leap.
he's not this, he's not that.
Like I feel like most conversation was just about him. When is he going to take the proverbial leap? Like he can score, and like you said, some nights he's on, some nights he's off. He can score. Like the talent is there. He can put up 38. I don't think I've seen him put up a 40-point game, but he can definitely put up 38. 36. But people just waiting for him to take that dominant second leap. Like they want him to be the third star. The Knicks need they're looking for a three, but out of the young. So I
Yeah.
mean, and we're just his draft position actually, obviously it takes a toll in that line of thinking. But they're just looking, especially because he was in the same class with Zion. But they're just looking really for him to really just take that next step and be like, you know what, I'm here. And right now it feels like he's still searching to find himself.
And I honestly feel like he is. I think again, people just look at it the fact that, oh, you got through your rookie contract, you should know, you should be there already.
Yeah.
Where it's like, honestly, 99% of those guys, you pay them for their potential, and they still got him on a bargain. They only paid him $125
They
million.
had to pay him.
All right.
They had to pay him. It's not even they wanted to. They had to pay.
There's two more trades I want to talk about before we end this one. The Warriors were in talks about they were rumored to like not trade away any of the young kids. They were going to stay put, and then they ended up trading James Wiseman. They traded James Wiseman to the Pistons. They got Gary Payton II, two future second round picks from Atlanta. The Hawks got Sadiq Bey, and the Blazers got Kevin Knox and five future second round picks. Apparently, the Warriors are making moves to shave money off the luxury tax because of Steph Curry's injury. They feel they're not going to go deep in the playoffs, so they're not going to recoup that money in the playoff run or a championship run. It's whatever. This is what I'm reading. So this is a
Makes
way to
sense.
shave money. Do you think it
Makes
was a
sense.
bad
But
idea to give up on James Wiseman,
no,
Very
or
nice, but I wish honestly it wasn't to Detroit. Like Detroit, the Hawks, um, yeah, Detroit and like they're teams that just stay consistent with bullshit. Like I feel like the Hawks have a lot of threes right? And there's not enough play to put all the threes that they have. The Pistons, they have a lot of fours and fives, but there's not enough minutes for that. So they say maybe hopefully, with his potential, he'll carve out some playing time and really be able to show himself more. But there's still a lot of players over there that have that same potential with the Pistons.
fix your mic, Calvin?
I'm gonna say I ain't do nothing.
Sorry, Jay. It was Calvin.
Honestly, he's that type of player where he definitely probably should have stayed in school a lot more and was the type of player where he had to leave school because of extenuating circumstances or whatever. So it's just gonna take him longer. And he may or may not ever reach his potential, which is why him going to the Warriors was supposed to be a good thing because you would have time to wait. He just never showed any signs. So it's unfortunate.
Yeah,
Hopefully a change of scenery does him some good, but I agree with Calvin. Like the team that he got sent to, I'm like, this is stupid. He's not gonna get any minutes.
yeah.
But I mean, big ups to Sadiq Bey though, because like, he went from a bottom dweller to not so bottom dweller. Even though we thought he was gonna go to Golden State, I'm like, oh, he about to go off. He about to get stupid. Nah, I was like, damn, bro. I I can actually start to root for Sadiq Bey again. Like, god damn it. Now he went to the Hawks. It's like, damn, I definitely can't root for you now. Like,
So
tight.
obviously you got you and I always forget his name. Is it Bogdanovich or Bogdanovich?
It's one of them.
Yeah, but we know what you're talking about. He's not the tall one. He's the shooter.
Yeah. With the big ass nose. Yeah.
Borjan.
Yeah, Bojan. Then you got Sadiq Bey to that. Like Sadiq Bey, I'm hoping he doesn't become what Cam Reddish was.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like a waste. Like, it feels like money moves. It's almost like a waste. Like I'm sure there was another team out there that could have used him. I can't think of it right now, but I'm pretty sure there's any other team that could.
No, oh no. It makes no sense. And the thing is, like the Hawks is like they're a team that they'll get to the playoffs, first round or whatever, and then that's it. Like they don't have enough. And they were trying to give it a Collins, but they just weren't getting the offers that they wanted for Collins. Again, the Rudy Gobert effect, where a lot of players' values were higher than what they should have been. And the last trade I want to talk about, I think we mentioned it earlier, is this one. This one, we kind of mentioned it already before, but this is where the Clippers get Eric Gordon, 3 future second round picks. The Rockets got John Wall, Danny Green, and a protected pick swap from the Clippers, and the Grizzlies got Luke Kennard. The Grizzlies going after Luke Kennard was interesting. I mean, it works. It makes sense.
But it's not what the Grizzlies need.
No, it's not.
That's my biggest thing. My biggest thing with the Grizzlies is, and I agree with Kendrick Perkins when I saw him speak about it. The Grizzlies are a team full of young guys trying to make their mark in the league that don't actually know how to win, that now experience a little bit of success, but they have no leadership. They have zero leadership from a player standpoint. They got a
Yeah.
bunch of young guys all trying to prove themselves, and that's cool. That's great. That's nice. But there's no leadership there.
Serge
They need like a real vet, and Steven Adams is not that vet.
No. Serge Ibaka?
Serge Ibaka is not that vet.
No.
They need somebody. Hate to say it, they need somebody that's black. They need like some dude that's from the hood. They need a Udonis Haslam type.
What?
Will Barton don't have enough street cred for that.
Yeah, no. He's getting bought out, but he's not. He's not that type. He's not.
I'm of the mindset that everybody who gets bought out is going to the Lakers. That's bias.
That's a stupid mindset to have, but okay.
Yeah, it is. Listen, I want Will Barton to come. I want Danny Green to get bought out by the Rockets and come back. Listen, man.
Like if you like, say for example, if you had a guy like Eric Gordon, a guy who's been around the league a little bit, a guy who was a top flight draft pick, a guy that's had success in the league, those guys will listen to a guy like that.
Yeah,
What kind of
because
to stay on point in line what you guys are saying? What 3 to 5 players that the Memphis Grizzlies could have used over Luke Kennard? Veteran presence that actually would have made a difference, whether it was impact in the locker room or actually, because we know they could put it on the floor. Veteran that they could have used.
Calvin, move your phone around because we can't hear because of the mic. You sound far away. Some of that.
Can you hear me now?
No, it sounds the same way. It's weird.
your mic is acting up, but
Yeah,
it's
you might say.
it's. I get what you guys are saying though, because when you even look at the Grizzlies roster, like you got what Jaren Jackson, Ja Morant, Desmond Bain, Dylan Brooks, all those guys are just mad young. Like there's nobody there. Look how like stupid Dylan Brooks is acting on the court. Just a mad dirty
Goofy,
player. There's
just straight
nobody to like.
goofy.
There's like nobody to like rein him in or anything. That dude is just. I don't know. He goes in and like he just aims to get like the best guy on the other team out of the game on purpose.
You guys want to hear something really funny about Dylan Brooks that you
What's that?
probably haven't heard?
What's that?
Tell me, Dylan Brooks does not look like Ice JJ Fish. All you want to do is mess with the boss.
Bro.
Unsee it, especially when he had that his tank top tucked into his jeans like the Rock.
Oh my god.
What's crazy is that, like, I hate to say it, and I know that the deal would have never got done, but you need like a Derrick Rose.
That's what I
You
was
need
saying. What's a veteran that they need that can help
you
fix
need
their
like a Derrick Rose.
who's the veteran?
A Terrence Ross might help.
I even
Um,
thought like if Marcus Gasol was still on that team, and they at least
yeah,
think that he
you get what I'm saying.
like
Like you need
even if he
that. You
was
need the
still
adult
there,
in the room.
yeah, like because even if he played the 5 and Jaren played the 4, like if they started kind of bugging, he'd be like, "Yo, everybody, chill the hell out."
I
Like
mean, if
Steve
they
Adams tries.
hmm?
Steve
yeah,
Adams tries.
He tried, but the thing is, it goes back to the same thing. He doesn't have that clout. You know what I
Not to
mean?
mention, I hate to say it, you can't have too many of these dudes is from an era where there's a certain culture where it's like we're not gonna listen to no foreign dude. Like, all respect to, we're not listening to this dude. Like, you're not from here. You need somebody that has a similar lived experience. Like, even truth be told, like a Thaddeus Young, like a guy that's just been around forever and has been through the ups and the downs and all that other stuff, and will still, like, if these dudes get out of line, like, all right, I'll still bust your ass 1-on-1. Like, don't sleep. I'll still give y'all little niggas to work. Chill with that. That's the kind of guy you
I'd
need.
like a Jeff Green over there or something.
Yeah, like a
Like
guy like those kind of players.
yeah, like I like a Jeff Green. I still like that dude's game.
Yeah, I was upset when we let him go. He
And
went to
Yeah,
the
free agency.
problem is that there isn't a guy even in that buyout market that's like, I guess you can say a Will Barton. Like, I could see a Will Barton being that guy, but the problem is Will Barton hasn't won enough. Like, you look at Terrence Ross. Terrence Ross, his game would tell you that he's that guy, but he's never been in that type of situation where he's had to be the mature guy.
uh-huh.
You get what I'm saying? So, like, they need to bring in like a a older coach, like something. They got to bring in something because the Grizzlies, I feel like, are gonna go off the rails really, really quickly.
And
Like,
it'll probably be in the playoffs. It'll
yeah,
probably be in the
like,
playoffs.
and they're gonna implode. Like, they're gonna turn on each other and they're gonna implode and they're gonna have to blow that up. It's gonna be what
I
Oklahoma City was when they had their big four.
honestly thought Danny Green was gonna be that player for them, that veteran presence. I'm
No,
surprised they traded him.
no, Danny Green. Danny Green was one. Danny Green was hurt. Two, Danny Green is not that guy.
Danny Green's is out here collecting checks, bro.
Yeah, he's not
It
that
is what
guy.
it is. He's about to buy his house in the Hamptons and just disappear.
Yeah, if you thought Danny Green was that guy, you're mistaken.
Yeah.
He was not that guy. He wasn't supposed to be that guy. I think he was
little
there to help defensively, but he was injured, and they just
little light skin softy.
yeah. Um,
Not to
it-
mention, why they keep doing my boy John Wall like this, bro? Like, why they have to send him back to Houston? That's
Send that
just
man,
disrespectful,
send
bro.
that man back to Houston. Like,
After he
that's-
said all he said about the
So they
what's the
paid
play
him
though?
twice. They're paying him for two different checks because they're still paying him from the buyout,
Yep.
and he signed with the Clippers. So now they're
Hmm.
paying him for that too.
And then they about to buy him out again. Your man's
That's
getting
two different
double buyout checks.
That's like
Like,
the first
yo,
time in NBA history. Like he has like what's those contracts that you see in the MLB where they get paid out for like 23 years or something like that?
uh,
the Bobby Bonilla.
Yeah, he got the Bonilla. He got the Bonilla time too.
oh my
times
god,
two.
yo.
Yo, he doesn't have to worry about signing no other team. That buyout check from Houston's gonna take care of
Yeah,
him.
bro, he ain't gotta pay. He playing for pride at this point. He playing for pride.
He
He
might
That
ain't
as well.
gotta
man
worry
better
about money.
go.
He might
His
as well
money's
just
set, bro.
go somewhere and be like go to like Milwaukee or somewhere and just enjoy the ride. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
That'd be nice to see him get a ring.
It would be,
It
but
would be, but at this point, like, bro, if you get a ring before CP3, I'm crying.
yeah,
Who?
I John Wall.
John,
Yeah.
I can see John going to the Lakers, low key.
Yeah, but that backcourt's stacked now though. Like he'll be there.
I ain't
Just
say go there to play. I said I can see him going to the Lakers. I ain't say
Yeah.
go there to play.
Make that man your six man.
he'll be the eighth man.
I mean, who's the other guards there? You got
I
what?
mean,
Schroeder.
what Boston
Schroeder?
backcourt look like? If I'm John,
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, Boston, what's up?
Who's the
I
shooting
got one
guard?
for you.
Beasley. You got Russell Beasley, Schroeder.
Oh,
Fuck,
yeah, if Schroeder and Loading, I guess will be your one and your two. Shoot, you don't want to take John Wall, put John Wall in the game when LeBron comes out, put John Wall in the game and have a six man
But
off the bench.
he couldn't even do that for the Clippers. So what made you think he's gonna do that for LeBron?
Max
True.
Christie. Max Christie's there at the guard.
Reeves.
Reeves, Austin Reeves,
Like I said, if I'm John Wall's
Davon
people,
Reed.
I'm reaching out to Boston. Let's see
Like
Boston
Lonnie.
get a ring.
even though they're unsexy names,
Wait. You can't forget this last one. You got Lonnie Walker the fourth, and you got Scottie Pippen Jr.
facts. Lonnie Walker the fourth, and he's a shooter. He's a good shooter. He gets you 2 3 pointers a game at least, minimum. And they're good threes, good looks. Like everybody who's a guard on that team right now plays defense. John Wall, we're banking on whatever upside is still left. Doesn't make sense.
Well, like you said, then let's go to the Bucks. Go be that ninth man.
Mm-hmm.
Go get you a ring. Just be a straight ring chaser at this point.
Yep.
Gonna have to be.
But also, shout out to Eric Gordon for making one move in his life just to go back home.
My man couldn't escape. He thought he was out. He could not
Yo,
escape.
Your man's
Man
back in
was
the vortex.
my man's like the NBA equivalent of a receiver on the Bears in the NFL. Just
Was that
cannot
Kevin?
get away.
Has he ever played any team other than the Clippers and the
Nope.
Rockets?
Nope.
No,
And he's
no.
been in the league for like 15, 16 years. Like, like has he ever had a free agency?
Oh
Like,
man, it's just getting ping pong back and forth.
Collecting
You,
checks, bro.
Oh
yo,
no,
you
wait,
mean
no wait. He did no. He wait. He played for New Orleans
Oh yeah,
for
man, forgot about that. Forgot about
yeah,
that.
5 years.
yeah. That brief stint where he was cooking niggas, straight
My
up.
man was so happy. He
He
was
was so
finally
happy, cooked him.
so
He got hurt. They was
like
like, "Yeah, nah, you out of here, bro."
He
run back, run
He
back,
been getting sent back and forth ever
go
since.
back, go back.
Word,
Yeah,
cause he was in the Chris Paul trade.
yo, you using Eric this week? Yeah, now you can have him. You can have him. Yo, send him this way.
I forgot, yo, he was in the Chris Paul trade.
Yo, my gosh, I
That's when he
feel
went to
so
New
bad for
Orleans. He
that
was in the
guy.
Chris Paul trade.
I
Yo,
would have
Eric
been like,
Gordon,
somebody buy me out, please buy me out.
Eric Gordon is a buffer. You know what?
Yo,
Let's
yeah,
throw a little Eric Gordon in here, if you will. You want Eric
exactly,
Gordon? Yeah, I'm gonna give you Eric
exactly.
Gordon real quick.
Yo, we gotta make up $2 million to make this deal work. Take Aaron Gordon for a week. Take Aaron Gordon. We'll take Aaron Gordon. It's fine.
Your
Whatever. Come
man
on,
is the
Eric.
modern day J.R. Smith without the production.
Yo, that man is the last man in a
I had
five
to
on
mute
five you
myself.
pick
That
up.
laugh was crazy.
Yo, you trying to run fives? I'll run a game. Whatever. Like,
You
Did
ever
somebody
seen that
call that
man?
HG
You
real
ever seen
quick?
that man shoot?
oh, oh yeah,
His jump shot is wild.
oh
Who,
yeah.
Eric Gordon?
Yeah,
Like, you mean wild like the Matrix wild, or wild like fire wild?
His
no, like
shooting
the
form
Matrix
is
wild. Like that shit should not.
So
It should
like the
not have been
Matrix,
as
like
productive as it
like
was.
the Matrix.
Yeah,
like
like
for
it's just
Sean
like
Marion. Yeah,
no.
Like
for
Like
Sean
he shoots and you're
Marion.
just like no, and it keeps going in, and you're just like no.
What's
That's
the other man?
this is
Kevin Martin. Kevin Martin was awful too.
he wasn't that bad.
That wasn't that bad.
his
Kevin
jump shot
Martin
was
shooting form.
wild. His
Wasn't that
jump
bad.
shot was wild. He was
My
a
man
point
used to
guard.
start on the left and go around his body to the right.
I mean, there's worse shooters though. There's worse, uglier shots. Like what's his
Lonzo.
name? Dude from Brooklyn right now who scored the 340 put games. It looks like he's throwing his shot in when he does free throws. I'm like confused. Like I was like, wait, is he trying to miss or is he just shooting that way?
Yo, my man Kevin Martin would start with the ball on this side and jump and bring it around and shoot it. Horrible, bro. Like he started the waist. He started down here at the waist and
Didn't Ray
jump
for
and
Austin
bring
have
it
an ugly
around.
shot too?
Who?
That was Kevin Martin. Oh no.
Didn't Ray for Austin have an ugly shot too?
I
Who?
don't remember. I don't remember watching Ray
No,
also
it's
shoot
so bad.
enough to even tell you.
He was also a Houston player.
Houston
Wait,
just got a hell of a history,
are you
bro.
talking about Skip to my
Yeah.
Lou?
Yes.
Yeah,
Nah, I don't think his shot was ugly.
I swear I've ever seen that man shoot. Not even on the N1 mixtape tour. That man ain't shooting.
your man will just fry you and just lay you up. Gorgeous.
Yo, what?
Man
My
will
man
just
was good
fry
for
you, your
about.
whole body is just limp on the side, and he's just. Huh.
My man was good for about 39 assists a game. That's about it. Like,
Who?
we'll skip to my Lou.
Oh yeah.
Ain't never seen
Paul, you
that
got
man
another
shoot a three
trade?
a day in his
That was
life.
all the trades?
Yeah, he did.
I ain't never seen that man shoot. I see that man give you like a good 20 points off of all layups
Yeah, man.
after he cook you.
Who else?
Averaging 20 and 35 in the N1 mixtape tour.
Yo, who was the dude on the Bucks with the big ass head? Michael Red.
Oh, Michael
He was
Red.
a monster. He was a
Yeah,
monster, though.
Shot.
he's underrated.
He had a shot. He had a head on him,
Jesus.
but he was ahead of the game with his 3-point shot.
He was a lefty, I
Your man
believe.
pull up. Your man, him and Joe Johnson to me had like the dirtiest pull up game I've ever seen in my life.
My
Joe
boy
Johnson's
Iceland
pull
was
up game
tough.
was just disrespectful.
I was
Oh my
hoping.
But
I was hoping Michael Red's career would last longer than it did. I was a Michael Red fan.
he was in the
I
league a
was
good
too.
amount of time.
I think he
He
only had like
was.
6 years in the league, bro.
Yeah,
Really?
and like I think 3 of those were like the high point.
Yeah, like the rest of them was just like he got hurt and then disappeared and got traded.
He got. It's not even like he got hurt. He got hurt.
Yeah,
Back before the knee surgeries were like really bad.
yeah,
Like I mean, really good in terms of recovery.
yeah. Like
Michael
he
Red
blew out
played
his knee and
12
that was it.
years. What you talking about?
Word?
Yeah, that's it. Michael Redd had a long career. He
Don't
played
feel
for
like
the
that.
Bucks for 11 years. He played for the Suns for one.
That's why, because he was just on the Bucks, and then it was just
His-
like we ignored him until like year 7, and they got really good and it disappeared.
Michael Redd was that. When Michael Redd was the Bucks when they were ass. Michael Redd was the Bucks.
He was that one player where like you did the randomizer in 2K and you got hit with the Bucks. You're just like, oh,
Yeah, that's
yo,
what I'm
you know
saying.
what? I'm just gonna cook your ass with
It's
Michael Ray.
it was a 6 years he had in Milwaukee, like his All Star year, and then that was the year one of the 6 years, and then
He was
after
in
those 6 years,
Milwaukee for 11 years, bro. 6 years,
and
11 years.
yeah, but the thing is, like, it's just he had his moment.
Oh,
That
man,
was
averaging
you know
19
what
a
was you know
game.
what's crazy though? You know what's crazy? Milwaukee had Tim Thomas, Glenn Robinson, Ray Allen. Then somehow Michael Redd fell in their lap, and then Mo Williams fell in their lap, and then Brandon Jennings fell in their lap. But they couldn't build around those shooters.
Brandon
Like,
Jennings, man,
Because
those
they were the
injuries
Bucks.
took his career out. He was a beast.
these are like shooters you want on
Before
your
his
team.
time.
They found these guys, but they couldn't build around them. It's like I feel bad for those guys' careers because like yo, like you could have at
Back
least
to
won
Brandon
something.
Jennings, he was it.
For a
That's
year.
why I always. That's why I always think about
He was
Brandon
good
Jennings. I feel
until
like he was
his
before his time.
His knees blew. He blew out his both of his knees,
yeah yeah
and
because of
that's it.
the way he played. He was like the Derrick Rose before Derrick Rose.
Nah, he wasn't like Derrick Rose.
No, I mean
Derrick
like
Rose
his career was cut short because of knee injuries.
oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
You know what I
You
mean?
know,
I'm not
I
saying
think.
he's the
I
fo-
think
he's the
Brandon Jennings.
forefather for a lot of these athletes not going to college. Because remember, he went pro
in
after his
Italy.
year to I thought it was Australia,
Italy.
Oh, somewhere. I thought it
Italy.
was Italy though.
Italy,
Italy.
and then after that he was like, all right, I went pro for you. I'm 19, came back, killed it. Leg injuries, never was the same.
Yep.
Because remember, he was a rookie. He put up 55 points.
Yep.
Mhm. That's what
I
I'm saying.
think.
It's like for certain players like him that rely on speed and rolls and everything, like explosion. Like once you get those knee injuries, it's a wrap.
That's why John
Baron
scares
Davis,
me. Oh, Baron
Earl
Davis. Oh my
Boykins.
God.
Earl Boykins doesn't get talked enough. He was a prolific short man baller. Like Earl Boykins.
Yeah, I remember what it is.
Nigga Earl Boykins was 5'3", cooking niggas.
Yeah.
No, he was 5'5". You talking Muggsy Bogues? Muggsy Bogues was 5'3".
There we go. Even though he was 5'5".
Hey, fun fact. Guess who I'm related to?
Some short nigga, I'm assuming.
Nate Archibald.
Get the fuck out.
Dead serious.
That
Damn.
just sucks for you, because it's just like, damn, this is where the family tree went?
Hilarious. He was also my gym teacher.
What?
That's how I
So you're
found out.
just a walking disappointment.
That's what. First of all, I know these so-called players ain't gonna tell you this, but I'm gonna be real and say what's in my chest. Okay, I'm nice with it. Jump shot and all of that. Your knees, scrape them up, because that's where they're gonna be on the floor. But that's how. Yo, short story. I was in school acting up in grade school, and I was just wilding out, talking crap, playing basketball, and all I heard was keep talking crazy, and I'm gonna tell your grandmother Nana that you're cursing. I said, huh? I said, how you know Nana? Was you looking at my school report? I said, nah, I'm gonna call her. And I told her, my teacher said that he knows you. She was like, oh, Nate. I know little Nate. That's my, and she told me that's her cousin, like first cousins. Wild stuff. And he was my gym teacher. Hilarious. Don't know where he's at now, but he's probably chilling, retired.
Just in
Is he
case,
still
yeah.
alive?
Yeah, he's
Boy,
still alive. Yeah,
kill,
he's
kill
74,
my
man.
relatives.
He don't mean nothing.
Oh, get out of here.
For those that don't know who Nate Archibald is, this is Calvin's uncle right here.
Facts, bro. Yeah.
Nah,
I
he
mean,
was dirty though. That's why I just don't. I really had to ask him though. Is he still like around?
Woo.
yeah, he's limited. Yeah.
Nah,
All
I
right.
ain't gonna sleep. It's 1 a.m.
All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, sorry, that was my fault. I was running behind some things.
I know life happens. Life happens.
Yeah. Any last words before we? Joe, no.
Have a good night.
Calvin,
Don't talk to strangers unless they give you candy first.
Jay.
Especially with Reese's.
Don't be a stand. Let it go.
At that point, just get in the car to give you Reese's. It's gonna be
I don't
it's gonna be,
know. I am.
Oh,
it's gonna be a good time either way.
right. Thank you for joining us. Till next time.
You boys want some popsicles?
What flavor are we
Popsicle
talking?
cans? Straps them on the top.